When the best ballers in the world get mad, everything goes out of control. From crazy fights to teammates getting the pump out of each other, these are the 25 biggest rage moments in the game. And at number 1, Didier Drogba couldn't hold it in any longer after witnessing a robbery on live TV. Chelsea versus Barcelona in the 2009 Champions League semi-finals, and it was epic. After a 0-0 draw in the first leg, both teams knew the second leg was going to decide this one, and Chelsea took the lead early on. The thing is though, after that, the stuff that happened next was so shady it was almost unexplainable. The ref denied Chelsea 3 clear fouls, and to make it worse, at the end of added time with seconds left to play, Iniesta scored to level for Barca and put them in front on away goals. And let's just say Didier Drogba was pissed. It's a disgrace. Yeah, Drogba, I agree, because what was that? Thing is though, Drogba's kind of lucky he had his guys there to pull him away and stop him from talking too much. The time Nico Gonzalez run his mouth in a game, he got banned straight up. Nico Gonzalez was playing for Fiorentina when they faced Inter Milan in Serie A, and both teams came into this one with different reasons to win. While Inter wanted to be champions in grand style, Fiorentina wanted to play in the Champions League the next season, and to do that they had to win here. And it was Nico Gonzalez's job as the main man up front to bag the goals. The Inter defense wasn't going to let him in that easy, and in the second half, after another foul on him, Gonzalez got mad that the ref didn't get the Inter player a foul. So he went up to him and told the ref his mind, but instead the ref booked him. Now it should have been enough here for Nico, but the guy didn't stop talking, and seconds later the ref lost it. Red card straight up, and the dude still won't stop talking. I don't think it's wise to be arguing with a ref or even pushing one like Ronaldo did back in 2017. Ronaldo was part of the Real Madrid team that went to Barca to play in the Spanish Super Cup final first leg, and because of an injury he'd picked up weeks before, he started on the bench for this one. But with the scores tied at 1-1, soon as the clock hit 60, Zidane didn't waste any time. He brought Ronaldo in, and seconds later CR7 scored a freaking golazo. Hit that one straight into top bins. Still, Ronaldo was hungry for more, and after getting to a pass from his teammate, he thought he was clean through on goal, and was just about to get his shot off when he felt contact on the back from Samuel Umtiti, and so went down in the box looking for a pen, but the ref didn't give it. Instead, he booked Ronaldo a second time for diving, and Ronaldo went mad. Oh, no way, he legit pushed the ref. Ronaldo's ban was extended to 3 games as a result. Ouch. If you think Ronaldo's 3-game ban is bad, wait till you see the guy who got banned for 16 games after pushing an official. In 2018, he was on loan from Barcelona at Istanbul Başakşehir when they faced Sivasspor in a must-win game. At the time, Turan and Başakşehir were fighting for the league, but with the scores at 1-1 heading into the 90th minute, it looked like they'd be unable to find the winner when Turan went tearing down the right. Seconds later, he thought he was fouled after losing the ball, but when the assistant ref didn't raise his flag for the foul, Turan did the unthinkable, shoved the assistant ref in the chest, and the ref immediately sent him off. It didn't just end there for Turan, because after the game, the league's FA gave him the biggest ban in the league's history. Turan was out for 16 games. Yikes, ballers with a temper like this, it's easy to piss them off. Arda Turan, and back in the day, Gennaro Gattuso. The man's like a plug trigger waiting to explode. All through his career, Gattuso has been in some of the biggest fights in the game, but the one against Spurs was top shelf. Gattuso's Milan played Spurs in the Champions League round of 16 first leg back in 2010, and somehow lost the match at home 1-0. After the game, Gattuso went to shake a couple of the Spurs players, and even the head coach, Harry Redknapp. And when he came to the assistant coach, Joe Jordan, I thought he was going to do the same thing too, but instead, Gattuso flipped the switch on him. Whoa, someone tell this guy to calm the hell down. Gattuso later apologized for the stuff he'd done, but it was clear he couldn't control his anger. It's not every day you see players and managers go at it, but when it happens, it's usually pretty heated. Like the time Kevin De Bruyne and his former coach had a tense moment. When Pep Guardiola first came to Man City in 2016, he made Mikel Arteta his assistant coach at the club. Fast forward to 2023 now, and Arteta was the coach of the Arsenal team, trying to win the league from Man City. They clashed in the game at the Emirates, knowing whoever won this one was going to have the upper hand, and Arteta was pumped. This one time, the ball went out of play, and City wanted to rush and quickly take the throw-in, but Arteta knew his former team way too well, and also knew that his team hadn't regrouped yet, and if De Bruyne took that throw-in early, it could cost him. So when he saw KDB run over to grab the ball, he said no, and it almost turned ugly. De Bruyne didn't care if Arteta used to coach him in the past, he was ready to have a go at him. I bet Maurizio Sarri wishes he could could have had a go at Kepa in 2019 after his goalie embarrassed him in front of 90,000 people. The 2019 Carabao Cup final, Chelsea versus Man City, and the scores were tied at 0, but the real drama was towards the end of extra time. Chelsea's coach Maurizio Sarri had already figured that the game was going to head into a penalty shootout, and he wanted to make the most of his chance and win a trophy. So seconds before the end, he had substitute goalie Willy Caballero warm up to get in for the pens and wanted Kepa to come off. But the thing is, Kep didn't want to, and completely had Sarri going nuts on the touchline. Kepa legit refused to come off. Look at Sarri's face. In the end, Chelsea lost the shootout, and Sarri dropped Kepa in the following match as a result. Next time, bro, just come off. Now, players and managers getting heated is crazy, but what if I told you that in 2022, two managers turned a Premier League touchline into a WWE ring, and it all kicked off from a handshake? Chelsea versus Spurs in 2022, and there were crazy plot twists attached to this one. Spurs coach Antonio Conte was the last man to win the league with Chelsea in 2017, but now he was back at the bridge trying to take points off them. They weren't gonna make it easy for him though, plus it was also a London derby, and games like this are usually heated. Both managers were getting in each other's faces after Chelsea scored. Conte thought Thomas Tuchel celebrated on his face, so when Spurs found the equaliser, Conte did the same thing and celebrated right in front of Tuchel. The game finished 2-2, and at the end of the final whistle, Tuchel and Conte approached each other to get the handshakes in, but there was nothing friendly about it. Damn, give these two a ring and a belt, and it'd be peak cinema. Guess there was no love lost between the two, just like with these next guys. Even though they were teammates for years, in 2019, everyone caught a glimpse of the silent war that had been going on between them. Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. When Mane was still at Liverpool together with Roberto Firmino, they were easily the best attacking trio in England. The numbers they put on the pitch were crazy. However, especially between Mane and Salah, rumours came out that they weren't exactly the best of buddies. And for a while it looked like this was all just cap, until the game was Burnley, when Mane couldn't keep it in any longer. Everyone expected them to win this one, and they did, but the real problem was when the team hit on the counter again. And after Salah got the ball out wide in the box, all he had to do was pick out Mane on the far side for an easy tap-in. But instead he chose to go all alone, lost the ball, and Mane decided to give him a piece of his mind. Yep, he was angry. But you see guys, when it comes to teammates and silent wars, no one comes close to the duo who faked it for over 15 years. The signs were there early on, and the world just missed it. When Ronaldo and Rooney were teammates at Manchester United in the mid-2000s, they looked like they'd both become the future of the club, for easy reasons too. But at least that's what Rooney thought, but for Ronaldo, playing for Portugal comes first. And after Ronaldo hit a bad foul on one of Ronaldo's teammates, Rooney couldn't believe his eyes. It was his buddy who was trying to get him sent off. Ouch. Don't know if Rooney was angry at Ronaldo or sad, but the fire in his eyes said everything. It was at that moment that the friendship died. The World Cup had seen some insane moments over the years, from friendships ending like this to Zidane showing he'd do anything to defend his family. The 2006 World Cup was supposed to be Zidane's special edition. He'd announced that this was going to be his last game as a pro, and now had the ultimate chance to retire like a legend, winning the World Cup. Zidane put France in front with a stunning Panenka, but after Italy levelled the game, it went into extra time, and with 10 minutes to the end, something happened that would change everything. Zidane and Marco Materazzi got involved in a tussle, and when Zidane saw that Materazzi was holding onto his shirt too much, he asked Materazzi if he wanted his shirt after the game, but Materazzi's response had Zidane in shockwaves. No thanks, I'd rather have your sister instead. Whoa! Now when it comes to family, Zidane is like Dominic Toretto from Fast and Furious. He doesn't play. And seconds later, he taught Materazzi a lesson in respect. Zidane's revenge was epic, just like Roy Keane's revenge on Alfie Haaland after keeping his anger boiling for 4 years. This one goes back to 1997. Keane was playing for Manchester United when they faced Leeds in the league, and as the game went on, Keane got the ball in the box and wanted to get his shot off, but went down after he thought someone had fouled him. The ref didn't give anything for it though, and it should have been the end there, but Alfie Haaland came over to make things worse. He accused Keane of diving. Keane was angry enough, but he wanted to build his ultimate revenge plan, so he waited for his opportunity. And 4 years later in 2001, he got it. The Manchester derby this time out. Keane was still at United, but Alfie Haaland was now at City. Still, Keane hadn't forgotten what Alfie said to him 4 years back, and once he had Alfie in range, he executed his his rage plan to perfection. Ouch. The tackle was so hard, Alfie retired the next season. Can't even lie, the Premier League back then was full of hard guys, from Keane to the one guy who took no nonsense from both players and fans, Eric Cantona, the bad guy. In 1995, Cantona was playing for Manchester United in a league match away at Crystal Palace. The scores were tied at 1-1, and the frustration was growing in the United players, particularly Cantona too. They were having a bad game, and it all kind of peaked when Cantona got sent off, a harsh tackle on Richard Shaw. But just before Cantona left the pitch, out of the corner of his eye, he caught a Palace fan abusing him and calling him names. And let's just say Cantona's switch went off after that, and he went mad. Kicked the guy hard in the chest. Cantona's career was on the line after this. He got stripped of the French captaincy and got 120 hours of community service. Later on though, Cantona revealed the real reason he kicked the fan so hard was because the guy told him and a couple of other fans not to subscribe to Mr. Football. What the heck? The fan, Matthew Simmons, later did jail time for a week because of it. Truth is, some fans do way more than just watch in stadiums. They're in there to cause trouble, like the dude who attacked Jack Grealish. Get this, Grealish was playing for Aston Villa in 2019 when they played Birmingham City in the West Midlands derby. Out there, this one is always very heated, and in this particular version, a fan thought the best way to stop Villa's star man Grealish from playing well in the game was if he attacked him, and just minutes into this one, he took him out. Damn, no one was expecting it, and the Villa players all ran to defend Grealish. The dude who attacked Jack got banned for life. Serves him right. He's lucky he didn't do it against a guy like Eric Dier. Let's just say Dier isn't that forgiving. 2020, Dier was playing for Spurs in a league match versus Norwich City, and after the game he went up to meet his family and, you know, vibe with them a bit, when all of a sudden he ran to attack a fan in the stands. At first I thought he'd lost it, until I watched again and realized the dude in the stands had been insulting Dier and his family, and Dier doesn't play when it comes to family. The guy's lucky he managed to get away just in time. I bet if Dier was with him alone when he wanted to, it wouldn't have ended well for him. Never does. Fans have got to stop underrating footballers and their ability to hit a sweet one in the face. Don't take it from me. Ask the guys who attacked Bright Osayi Samuel out in Turkey. The Turkish Pro League has unfortunately had some crazy moments over the years, and the one back in March was right up there. Bright Osayi Samuel and his Fenerbahce team had just defeated Trabzonspor in the league, but after the game, sub-Trabzonspor ultras weren't happy with the fact that they just watched their team lose. So they ran onto the pitch and started attacking the Fenerbahce players, until they stopped and went back after seeing what Osayi Samuel did to one of them. That punch looked like he'd leveled up his right fist before he let it swing. Next time, pick on someone your own size. Seems Diego Costa got the memo because his legendary rage moments have been against one of the greatest centre-backs of his generation. Diego Costa versus Sergio Ramos is always peak cinema. They'd both clashed over the years, Costa playing for Atletico Madrid and Ramos playing for city rivals Real Madrid. And the 2019 version of this one brought them face to face again. Minutes into the match, after Costa had put Atleti in front, boom, he got a nasty elbow from the master of the dark arts. Ramos was at it again. Now Costa is no joke when it comes to moments like this, and let's just say the stuff Ramos did, well, it got to him angry, and he just needed to get him in the right place to show him what an angry Costa can do. And once he found him where he wanted, he almost left Ramos deaf. Lesson learned, don't annoy Diego Costa. He looks satisfied after hitting this one. That's probably what all that rage does to you. Makes you look like Costa when you're done, or when the moment's heated, makes you look like Joe Hart in 2014. Hart was England's goalie in the match versus Italy, and simply put, they had to win. They were losing the game and Hart wanted to get a quick goal kick into the Italy half, but when he couldn't find the ball, he turned around, probably forgot he had cameras really close to his face, and turned into the Hulk real quick. Yikes! Enough to give me nightmares for a whole week. The ball boy was wise enough to give Hart the ball too, and last time I saw a ball boy delay the ball, it left him with a kick in the ribs. 2013, the Capital One Cup semi-final first leg, Swansea versus Chelsea. Chelsea were expected to win, but somehow they were losing 2-1. 7 minutes left to play, and the game plan must have been to try to get the equaliser and finish it in the second leg. So Eden Hazard was trying to get his teammates back into the game, you know, lead by example and stuff. So when the ball went out of play for a Swansea goal kick, Hazard knew they were going to try to eat up time a bit. That's when he decided to go get the ball and make them start the replay. But Swansea's ball boy on the far side, Charlie Morgan, decided to play games with Hazard and paid the price. Hazard got the banned, but Charlie got kicked in the ribs. Wonder what the deal is with footballers getting mad and kicking balls at people though. Hazard did it to a ball boy, and Nicolas Otamendi's done it to an opponent. The 2018 World Cup, France versus Argentina, and it was a World Cup epic. France was dominating Argentina from all ends, and the Argentina defense was struggling to keep up. Nicolas Otamendi's not exactly the nicest guy you'll see when he's angry, and once he saw his team concede another foul and pull Pogba on the floor, he had only one thing on his mind. Can't even blame Pogba. If I get kicked with the ball like that, it's going down immediately. Seems like it's an Argentine thing to kick balls when they're mad. At the 2022 World Cup, they were at it again. This time it was Argentina versus the Netherlands in the quarterfinals, and this one was full of drama. Before the game, the Dutch coach, Louis van Gaal, had called out Messi and his teammates, saying he didn't need a game plan to beat them because he already knew what to do, and all of that trash talk made them angry. As the match went on, it was threatening to boil over with a couple of near-fight moments, until Leandro Paredes figured he'd seen enough, wanted the chaos in full flow, and found the perfect way to get the fight into all systems go. The Dutch players immediately came out for this one. Even Van Dijk shoved Paredes hard, and he's usually chilled and reserved. The thing is, when you're angry, all of that rage kicks in, and it makes you do stuff you'd never believed you'd be able to do. Like the time Nelson Vivas went completely nuts and shocked everyone watching. In case you don't know who this is, Nelson Vivas used to be a former pro who played for Arsenal back in the day. In 2017, he was the coach of Estudiantes when they took on Boca Juniors in the league, and Vivas badly wanted to win. However, he let his emotions take over fast, got sent off, and snapped. Scratch that, he snapped really hard. I'd bet that suit wasn't cheap, but he let it rip in front of the whole world. On the plus side, his back art is pretty neat. South American rage moments are usually pretty wild. It affects all of them, even the GOAT too. The 2019 Copa America was disappointing for Messi. At the time, he was still searching for his first international trophy with the national team, but in the semi-finals against Brazil, they lost and had to settle for a third-place match against Chile. The game hadn't even gone that far in when Messi and Gary Medel got into a brawl. Messi chased the ball into the Chile box, but Medel wasn't fazed by Messi trying to get to it at his back, so he protected the ball cleanly. Messi wasn't too happy about the challenge, and when the ball went out of play, they looked like two bulls ready to lock horns and go. Unfortunately though, the ref didn't want the fight and sent Messi off. Sorry Leo, but that's what happens when you get angry and lose it. I guess playing for your country just brings out a different side of ballers that they can't control. They do anything to win, just like Ronaldo did against Serbia, and once he realized he'd been robbed, he was out. It was a World Cup qualification match, and Ronaldo and his teammates knew what was at stake. A win would keep them in front heading into the final round of matches for qualifying, and with the scores at 2-2, Ronaldo found a space in the box and hit a shot that he'd seen go over the line, and rushed to celebrate. But there was one problem. The assistant ref didn't believe the ball had crossed the line, and there was no VAR in this game as well, meaning Ronaldo's legitimate goal wasn't going to stand. Once Ronaldo saw his clean goal wiped out, he said adios, left ASAP. Credit to Ronaldo, maybe he didn't want his anger to get the better of him. Wish I could say the same thing about this next dude, the Runa. At the time, Madrid was chasing Barca for the league title, meaning anything else but a win wasn't going to cut it. But with less than 5 minutes left to play, Madrid was already dropping points with the draw when Pepe did the unthinkable, committed a foul in the box and gave away the pen. Pepe couldn't believe it. In his mind, he'd just cost his team the league title. But you see, Pepe also felt that Javi Cascado had dived to convince the ref and fake the foul. And once he saw the ref was gonna give the pen, Pepe didn't even mind the consequences anymore. He turned to Cascado and took him out. Awful stuff. Even his teams couldn't defend his actions. Watching Pepe have a go at Cascado like that kinda makes me wonder if he hated him that much. Maybe as much as Messi and the guy who tried to steal his throne, or Ronaldo's best friend who turned into his biggest enemy. There's a full list of players who hate each other, and you can check it out in the next video.